Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. I am pumped. I am excited. I am jazzed. I am so excited because just before I came here to the office to record, I went to our local vegan fast foodie place called Elephant and Vine, and I got a free breakfast sandwich. If you like the vegan food, you know how exciting it is. Anybody wants free food. They just announced that they just started having breakfast today, April 23rd. It is 7:19 a.m. They've got some breakfast foods at this place. So I got a free sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich. I also got a breakfast burrito, which I'm going to eat for lunch. It's going to be a lunch burrito. It's got hash browns in it, and I also got a side of hash browns, hash brown triangles, fried potatoes in triangle form are one of my favorite things. Let's have some. Fried and greasy. Let's not make food sounds. Oh yeah. All right, I'm excited to have my vegan breakfast food later. We gotta talk about some words. The first word is at the bottom of the previous page. It is the word exophthalmos. Exophthalmos. You can also guess, instead of an F sound, you can have a P sound. Exophthalmos. Spelled EXOPHTHALMOS or MUS. Exophthalmos. Or exophthal? Yeah, whatever. This is a noun from 1872, and this is abnormal protrusion of the eyeball. Whoa. Exophthalmic is an adjective. There are some really, really good words in this episode, and I am very excited to talk about them. I have seen this in people. Maybe that guy who was in. Oh, this is an old reference. The Frankenstein movie called. Why can't I think of what it's called? By Mel Brooks. It is called. What is it called? It's not called Spaceballs. It's not High Tension. It's not History of the World. It's not the producers. It's not Blazing Saddles. It is, oh my God, why can I not think of what this is? Oh, come on, Spencer. Why are you stupid? Why does always the thing that you want to come up with is not the thing that you can come up with? It's black and white. It's the Frankenstein story. Young Frankenstein. You know, that's the thing with the brains, is that as soon as you try to come up with something, it takes all of its effort to stop you from thinking of that thing. Anyway, the guy who plays Igor in Young Frankenstein was probably exophthalmic because he had an abnormal protrusion of the eyeballs. Also, there are people who can, I don't know if this is the same word, but they can maybe flex some muscles and their eyes will kind of pop out. And I think that's a little dangerous because it could maybe pop out too far. But I think there's even a whole Guinness World Record of the furthest distance out that people can pop out their eyeballs. It's crazy. Let's see. This word is from the Greek exophthalmos, if you couldn't tell. I mean, it seems kind of Greek, which means having prominent eyes, which is from ex, which means out, plus ophthalmos, which means eye, akin to the Greek ops, which means eye, and there's more at the word eye. So, yep. So ex out, and the rest of the word eye, eyes are out. Eyes are out of the head. They are prominent. They are poking out. You can give somebody a really good evil eye stare if you are exophthalmic. All right, that's a good word. My sound effect is just going to be pop, pop, pop. Maybe we'll do that. The next word is exoplanet, noun from 1996. I suspect that people believed that there were exoplanets before 1996, but maybe this was the first time that we found an exoplanet. I think it was around then, and so they had to quickly come up with a name. Oh my God, what are we going to call this planet? It's not in our solar system. It's outside of our solar system. We should read the definition. It is a planet orbiting a star that is not our sun. There are lots and lots of stars or suns outside there, out there in the universe, outside of our solar system, and many of them, probably most or all of them, have planets that are going around. Doesn't mean that they have life. Most of our planets don't have life, but every once in a while, one will have life, and now we don't know that for sure. It's not a fact. We don't know that, but we feel pretty good with the amount of stars and planets that are out there in the universe, trillions upon trillions of them. There has got to be life on one of these exoplanets. So I want to do a quick little search. How many exoplanets does it take to get to the center of the universe? As of April 18th, which was 5 days ago as I'm recording this, 2024, there are 5,612 confirmed exoplanets in 4,170 planetary systems, which means that many of those, they have found more than one exoplanet, which makes sense. And it says there are 948 systems having more, 948 of them have more than one planet. Most of these were discovered by the Kepler Space Telescope. Amazing. Let's put a link in the show notes for Exoplanet. And I have a very good feeling that in my lifetime, which is probably about another 100 years or so, that they will find more evidence of, or they will find evidence of life, or something that's like, we have a really, really good feeling there's life on this planet. Now, we won't probably be able to go there, or even maybe send a signal there, but we got to. The thing is, to have life, so exoplanet, it's just a planet. It's got to be of a certain size to be called a planet. It's going around a star. That's what makes a planet. We got Mercury, Mars, Earth, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Pluto's not, it's a dwarf planet. That's what we got. I think I got them all. I hope so. So who knows how many planets around all those other stars? There's a lot of them. But when it comes to life, they need to be in the Goldilocks zone. They have to be not too close to their star, which it would be too hot, not too far away, it would be too cold. It has to be rotating at a certain speed based on its size. Lots and lots of factors. So we're very lucky, I guess, that we get to be on a planet that is in the Goldilocks zone, the habitable zone. The habitable zone. All right, let's move on to pop. My eyes are popping. The next word is exor, E-X-O-R, abbreviation for executor. They got rid of the middle letters. They kept the front and the end letters, but they got rid of the middle ones. Exor. Poppity pop pop. Next is exorbitance. It's a noun from 1609. Number 1, an exorbitant action or procedure, especially excessive or gross deviation from rule, right, or propriety. You are going away from what is proper, what is correct and right. That seems a little judgmental, but okay. So exorbitance, this is a noun. You have so much exorbitance when you are, maybe this episode is a little exorbitant, which will be our next word. I got stuff to do, so I'm maybe speeding through this a little too fast. Number 2, the tendency or disposition to be exorbitant. If you tend to be exorbitant and do exorbitant actions and have gross deviation from rules, if you are not a rule follower, then you would have exorbitance. Poppity pop pop poop pop. Next is exorbitant. Adjective from the 15th century. It's about, 200 years or so? 150, 200 years between exorbitant and exorbitance. So, number 1 for exorbitant is not coming within the scope of law. Not coming. This is not within this is illegal. That's what it is. Exorbitant. Number 2, exceeding the customary or appropriate limits in intensity, quality, amount, or size. There are customary or appropriate limits to all those things, but something that is exorbitant is exceeding those limits. It's too much. Maybe my vegan breakfast sandwich will be exorbitantly tasty because or maybe, it's got the cheese and the egg and all the, and the sausage. It's like maybe not the most healthy thing. Maybe it's exorbitant but it's healthier. It's healthier than the non-vegan version. I will 100% guarantee you that. But sometimes you just need a little grease. You need a little something. Not all the time, just a little bit in moderation. And maybe you'll have it twice in one day. That's not moderation. The synonym is excessive. Exorbitantly is an adverb. I'm talking exorbitantly today. This word is from the lower Latin verb exorbitare, which means to deviate, which is from the Latin ex prefix plus orbita, which means track of a wheel or rut. Oh, yes, the track of the wheel is in the rut, and it's going, and that's all normal and good. But then you put the X prefix and it comes out. The wheel comes out of the rut. And that's deviant. Oh my God, how did you get your wheel out of your rut? Can you do that? Is that possible? Is that culturally appropriate? Will society allow you to take your wheel out of your rut? Yes, I think we all should do this. Do something that's weird. Do something that takes you out of your comfort zone. Exorbitate yourself. Is that a word? By the way, that orbita is from orbis, which means disc or hoop. That's it. Pow, 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 pow. The next word is exorcise. You have to emphasize the sore, or just exercise. EXORCISE or ZE. This is a verb from 1539, and it looks like it's just transitive. Number 1A, to expel in adjuration. And I don't remember what adjuration means, but the thing that you might be expelling is an evil spirit. Yeah, we don't want no evil spirits around. We gotta get rid of those evil spirits. We have to exorcise. There was that very silly line in that movie with that guy. Ace. Oh my God. The brain doesn't want to come up with the movie titles today. Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura. Classic movie from my childhood. And he says, I have exorcised the demons. And I believe that was his little jokey joke from Poltergeist. I believe that was what he was referencing. So adjuration is right over here in this part of the book. Adjuration is a solemn oath or an earnest urging or advising. I don't know if that's the word I would use when you're exorcising. I have seen exorcisms in movies many times, and it wasn't like can you please leave the body, evil spirit, please go. No, it's the power of Christ compels you, and there's wind all over the place, and it's very intense. Crosses are flying around, holy water's being sprayed, lots of other things are happening usually. Adjuration made it sound a little bit more tame. It's more than that. But what else do we have? 1B, to get rid of. To get rid of. But what is you getting rid of? Something troublesome, menacing, or oppressive. This is not an imagined or not real evil spirit. I don't know if those are real, but this is maybe there's a troublesome child, what was that cartoon character's name? A Dennis the Menace. Maybe you need to exorcise him from your lawn. Get away. I will urge you away. Number 2 is to free of an evil spirit. I will free you of your evil spirit. I don't know how to do that. I can try. If you want me to try, I will try. I have learned things from movies, but I don't know if those work. I have no clue. Exorciser. That is a noun. This word is from, let's see, the Greek exorchizion, which is from the ex prefix plus horkizine. I don't know how to pronounce these words. Horkizine means to bind by oath or adjure. So you put the ex prefix and maybe you're breaking that oath. Maybe the evil spirit has an oath with the body and you are trying to break that oath. That is from horkos, which means oath. Yeah. Let's see. Well, let's talk about the next word, and then we can chat a little bit more about this world, just a little bit. Pop, 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 pop. The next word is exorcism, noun from the 14th century. Number 1, the act or practice of exercising. And this isn't the fitnessing. This isn't the working out. No, it's spelled with an O-R, so it's a whole different thing. Number 2, a spell or formula used in exorcising. So the whole act of removing this evil spirit is the exorcism, but there is a spell. Maybe it's one of those Latin phrases that they say from the Bible, or a formula. What is a formula? A formula in terms of I don't know. Are you going to write a formula on the blackboard? What is this? I don't know what this is. Exorcist is a noun. Exorcistic is or exorcistical. That is an adjective. I have never heard that word used. Quickly, we must say that there is a fantastic movie called The Exorcist, which people to this day, adults to this day, say when they saw this when they were younger, this was, or any time, this was the scariest movie that they have ever seen. And I saw this movie when I think was in my early 20s, and it did not scare me. And I am so sorry to say that. I am sorry to disparage this wonderful classic movie, but it didn't do it. Now, I should watch it again. I do remember seeing, I believe it was the third Exorcist movie, and that was a really good movie from what I remember, and that had some really good, scary moments. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But there's a few of them, and I don't think I've seen them all, and I think I should, just because I like movies, and I want to be a completist. Yeah, do that. Is it based on a book? Maybe I should read the book or something. Shout out to Linda Blair, who played Reagan, I think was her name, in the original movie. Fantastic job. She was a kid, and I don't think kids should be meant to do some of the things or say some of the things that she did or said. And I've heard that the making of The Exorcist was problematic. They had a lot of problems making that movie, but let's not dive into that. Let's dive into the next word. Pop, 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 pop. Exordium. Exordium. This is a noun from 1577. A beginning or introduction, especially to a discourse or composition. So you're writing a discourse, you're writing a composition, an essay, something, and just the beginning of that. Your intro paragraph, that would be your exordium, I guess. Exordial is an adjective, and this word is from the Latin exordire, which means to begin, which is from the ex prefix plus the word or diri, which means also to begin. Well, that's weird. The ex prefix does nothing. I thought you Latin speakers would have done a better job there. Okay, there's more at the word order. Order up. Pop, 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 pop. Next is exoskeleton. Noun from 1847. I need an exoskeleton. My skin is I get injuries all the time, so I think I have a cut there on my finger, see? Oh, that was funny. Okay, number 1 for exoskeleton is an external supportive covering of an animal. And what sort of animal might have this exoskeleton? An arthropod. That's one. Are crabs arthropods? Are those other things arthropods? They might be. I don't remember all the details. Number 2 is bony or horny parts of a vertebrate produced from epidermal tissues. So I think what this is saying is that maybe like the horns of a goat or a cow or a deer would possibly be considered exoskeleton. They are bony or horny parts. They are literally horns. They are of a vertebrate, and that vertebrate is one of those creatures that has a spine. And those creatures have spines. And it's from epidermal tissue. So I think that's, that's like the tissue. I mean, we talked about epidermal. I'm not going to tell you all about that again. But yeah, so I guess technically the horns on one of those animals would be exoskeleton. Never thought about that. Number 3, an artificial external supporting structure. And these days with fancy tech, companies have been starting to make these exoskeletons. They're like not quite robots, but they're electrical, and this is to mostly to help people who are maybe stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of their life. They can get into one of these exoskeletons and be able to kind of walk around, and it's pretty amazing. And I suspect that this technology is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and probably cheaper. And they might be able to walk around with these fancy suits, which I think is pretty cool. If they want to. It's not like you're going to be required. If you want to be in a chair, be in a chair. If you want to walk around in an exoskeleton, walk around in an exoskeleton. But also, people are using these, I believe, to help them move really, really heavy things. It will allow them to hold super heavy boxes, and then they can walk around with them, which seems pretty cool too. I would like to try that. Oh, also, in Alien, the movie Alien, and the other one with the things, they had exoskeleton robots. They were in that machine. Lots and lots of movie examples of this. Moving around. Definitely the one Alien, because then she's grabbing the thing and she says, "Get out of here, you bitch. I'm in an exoskeleton, so I can fight you." I hope you are enjoying this. Please, please enjoy this. Or just don't. Pop, 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 pop. Next is exosphere. This is a noun from 1949. The outer fringe region of the atmosphere of the Earth or a celestial body as a planet. Or maybe an exoplanet. Maybe an exoplanet has an exosphere. So the Earth has an atmosphere. That's one of the things that makes it habitable. That anyway, we can't go into all the details because I don't know all the details. But anyway, there's a variety of regions of this atmosphere, parts that are closer to the Earth, the land part, and parts that are further away. So the exosphere is the one that's the furthest out, right before maybe you get to space. It's the furthest, the fringe region of the atmosphere. And what does it do? I don't know. What's the point of it? It's just part of the atmosphere, and it's divided into regions based on, densities and other things. Exospheric is an adjective, so maybe there's some exoplanets that have exospheres. Probably. Pop, 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 pop. Next is exospore, or just exospore. Noun from 1859. An asexual spore cut off from a parent sporophore by the formation of septa. Okay, so I think we're probably talking about fungi here. Maybe they're releasing spores. It is cut off from a parent sporophore by the formation of septa. When the septa are formed, then maybe this exospore gets popped out into space, into the air, and it's exo because it's detached from it. It's out of it. Let's see. There's no actual etymology because it's obvious. It's so obvious. Pop, 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 pop. The next word is exotosis. Exotosis. Noun from 1736. Mitosis have exotosis. I don't know, maybe not. Let's see what it is. A spur or bony outgrowth from a bone or the root of a tooth. So yes, your toesies could have exotosis, or the plural, exotoses. Your toesies got exotoses. Yeah, it's just a spur or a bony outgrowth. So, are there specific kinds? Is it different? Like people say they got like bone spurs, or what are those other things called? So maybe exotosis is the medical term when you got one of these things. Probably. That would make sense. This is from the Greek word exotosis, which is from ex, which means out of, plus ostion, which means bone. And there's more at the prefix ex and the word osseous. And so, yes, it's the bone that's coming out of the bone. And I don't know if this is like, is this a genetic thing that happens? Is it based on maybe your diet? If your body is like, I don't like the food that you're eating, so the cells are going to start freaking out and doing weird things. Or could this be just the way you live your life? Are there certain physical things that you can do to have this exotosis happen? Your bones start growing weird stuff? I don't know. Hope I don't ever get one. Think if you live long enough, there's probably a decent chance you might. Pop, 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 pop. Exoteric is next. Adjective from 1660, 1a. Suitable to be imparted to the public, as in the exoteric doctrine. So this doctrine, the public can be told about this doctrine. It is suitable. It has been written and edited over and over again by a committee, and now the public can know about it. It says compared to esoteric, which is more like, we don't get it, we don't understand it, we shouldn't be spreading it around, and so exoteric would be the opposite. Because the exo prefix, you're sending it out, right? Let's put it out there into the world. That's what I'm guessing. 1b, belonging to the outer or less initiate circle. Belonging to the outer circle or the less initiate or initiate circle. This one is making me think hard. It belongs to the outer circle. What is the outer circle? One of the circles of hell? The exoteric. I don't know. This is interesting. Number 2 is relating to the outside, and the synonym is external. Just something about the outside of your body, the outside of the house, the outside of the Earth's atmosphere. Exoteric. Exoterically is an adverb. This is from the Greek word exoterikos, which literally means just external. External. From exotero, which means more outside. Compared to exo, which means outside. So exotero is more outside. It's not just outside. Can you be more outside than something that's already outside? How can you be more outside than outside? That's a thinker. There's more at the prefix exo. Next word, pop, 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 peep. It's exothermal. We've come across this word a few times recently. Adjective from 1906. The synonym is exothermic, which is our next word, but quickly I will say exothermally is an adverb. Pop, pop. The last word is exothermic. exothermic. Key? adjective from 1884. This is characterized by or formed with evolution of heat. Characterized by evolution of heat or formed with evolution of heat. The heat is evolving, and that's what it's doing. And I couldn't tell you more about this process. What is exothermic? I don't know. Exothermically is an adverb, and exothermicity, that is a noun. It is time to pick a word of the episode. That's a lot of words to put in a song. Too many syllables. Today we had... Oh, this is going to be hard to pick a word of the episode. I liked a lot of these. We had exophthalmos. Exophthalmos. It's a very hard word to say. Exoplanet. Exor. Exorbitance. Exorbitant. Exorcise. Exorcism. Exordium. Exoskeleton. Exosphere. Exospore. Exotosis. Exoteric. Exothermal. And exothermic. Well, it's got to be either exoskeleton or exorcism or exoplanet. Maybe exophthalmos? I don't know. Let's see. Exorcism might be kind of fun to pick as a word of the episode. It doesn't affect anything in any way whatsoever. But exoplanets are pretty fascinating. I don't know. Maybe I want to pick that one. I want to pick that one. Sure, let's do exoplanet. There are 5,612 exoplanets that we know of. Let's just end the song right there. All right. No, I'm not going to tell you about a movie today because I got to get going on the things. So, thank you. Thank you so much for checking out this just crazy bonkers episode, this podcast in general, but this one I think was particularly off the deep end. And until next time, this is Spencer being exercised. Maybe he needs one. Dispensing information. Goodbye.